Hello and welcome to Books of Blood. My name is John, and today I'm going to be talking about the second short story in the Hot Blood series, and this is of course, the first Hot Blood book, and these are tales of erotic horror. So the one I'm going to be talking about today is Richard Matheson's The Likeness of Julie, and this is about a guy. Now, this one I compared to the first story, which was Changeling, and in that both stories are about men who become obsessed with women who are not quite what they appear to be, okay? So in this one you have Eddie. Eddie is a high school student, at least I believe he's a high school student because the beginning of it takes place in a classroom, and it says that he never noticed this girl until that day. Now, Eddie is the kind of guy that he sees a girl and he's pretty much taking her clothes off in his mind and thinking of various things that he is wanting to do to her. And in fact, these are all playing out in Eddie's mind. So he sees this girl and he's figuring, you know, he kind of has good reason for him why he wouldn't notice this girl. She, to him, has a plain body. She wears loose-fitting clothes. You can't see her figure underneath it. It says she's got a kind of an ugly face with a little girl's voice. So she's not the kind of girl that Eddie would take to. But then Eddie sees this girl when she's talking, and all of a sudden the thought of take her comes into his mind, and he starts to hatch this little nefarious scheme to get her alone, to get her drugged, and so on and so forth. And he goes through with this plan, all right? And I don't want to say too much about the story because it's kind of also one of those things where, like I said, this girl is not quite what she appears to be, and there is one scene in the short story. It's only about 10 pages long, where Eddie is spying on her as she undresses in her bedroom. He's spying on her from outside of her house, and he sees that she does have a much better figure than what he figured for her to have, so to speak. And then, like I said, Eddie hatches this little plan to get her alone, to get her drugged, to blackmail her, and that's all I'm going to say about the story. Now, in the first story, Changeling, that was about a woman who is not what she appeared to be, and then this one is the same thing, and for this one, it's kind of an awakening for this girl, and then there's a little bit of a twist at the end of it, where you have the same situation begin all over again. I'm going to try to find what it says. I'm not going to read it out to you, but the same thing happens with the next guy after Eddie, okay? So I like this story in the fact that Matheson is one of those authors that he doesn't waste words, okay? He reminds me of Cormac McCarthy. When I read, and I've mentioned this before, when I read No Country for Old Men, the one thing I noticed about Cormac McCarthy's writing was that he did not waste words. Every word had a purpose. Every word had a meaning. If it didn't belong, he didn't put it in the novel. And the same thing goes with Matheson. And of course, Matheson is a master of horror, and he's written sci-fi, he's written fantasy like What Dreams May Come, he's done horror, like I said, Stir of Echoes, Hell House, all that, and he's also, of course, written numerous short stories. Of course, one of my favorite short stories by Matheson is Duel, and then also Prey, which became trilogy of this third story in the trilogy of terror series or movie with the little Zuni fetish doll. And this one here kind of reminded me a bit of one of those stories in the Trilogy of Terror, because I believe all these stories were actually written by Matheson, and or those stories, the screenplay or whatever, and that it had to do with seduction and blackmail and photos and things like that. So yeah, I enjoyed this story, and I enjoyed The Likeness of Julie. I said I'm not going to rate these stories, all right? It's just, I just find that to be ridiculous to rate these stories the same way I do bigger novels and stuff. But anyway, that is the second story. Again, I really enjoyed it. And the third story is going to be Robert R. McCammon's The Thing. Alright, so I can't wait to read that one because I'm real curious about what it's about. It's been a while since I read it. I have read these stories. Anyway, I'm going to start posting these reviews on Wednesday because I've got a 12-year-old mind, and these are books about erotic horror, and what is Wednesday? Hump Day. So there you go. Anyway, it's going to post on Wednesday. Thank you guys for watching, and take care and stay scared. Anyway, bye-bye.